to move on now, though, because I want your calls on this. Should time off work be a right for women who are going through the menopause? 1 in 10 women experience symptoms of menopause so severe and debilitating that they have to leave work permanently. Firms with more than 250 staff will need to draw up official menopause action plans from 2027, according to a report in The Eye, as part of government plans to protect workers. Should a right to menopause-specific sick leave be part of those plans, or is this just part and parcel of being a woman? I'd love to know what your experience has been. Get your calls in now. Carole, the menopause, how did you find that? And is this something, I mean, we've talked already about mental illness not getting in the way of you going to work. How about menopause?
And the menopause didn't either. Yeah, it's not great, you know, but this, I got all the hot flushes, I got a bit of brain fog, I got all the things, sleeping badly. But being a woman is not a disability, and the menopause it's a natural, normal part of a woman's life, and it's an aspect of female biology. It exists, and we cannot be allowing people not to go to work because of an aspect of female biology. Life for women is hard enough in the workplace. Creating special circumstances for them, you're going to make it different. You're going to make employers not want to take them on. We already, employers already give women up to a year off on maternity leave. They already, there's women get time off when they have periods. You can't have it at the end being time off for menopause as well. Otherwise, women are going to be regarded as a liability in the workplace. I want to be seen as a capable, competent older woman. I don't want to be seen as a drain on people's resources or a bother because I'm having the menopause. I just think, we can't on the one hand bleat about women, not enough women are at the top table in business, and then on the other hand say, oh, but hey, let's give them some time off because they get a bit hot and they've got a bit of brain fog. You can't do it. Women are equals. We fought long and hard to be equals. Don't disable us by making it so that you have to give us special circumstances by law to deal with it.
There is a chance that this could be a tool used by men to silence women in the workplace, yes, actually. Exactly. And especially at the point where they have reached experience and expertise, which can be really useful to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, as a bloke, I can't imagine what it's like to go through the menopause, but just working under the idea that it's a very difficult thing. These systems, the workplace systems, aren't created in a vacuum. They were created by men. And to me, this is about adjusting a system to incorporate, as Carole said, the female biology. And the fact that women, with 2 guarantees about being a woman, if you like, I would imagine, once a month, things aren't going to be fantastic. And when that eventually ends, it's also not going to be fantastic. So for me, therefore, why don't we set a system in place to say, if that time that isn't fantastic, we're going to support you. And the idea, I get that would put pressure, especially on small businesses.
Yes.
And there is a pragmatic effect of, would I be more discouraged by choosing a woman who may leave for maternity reasons, and then perhaps when she gets to a certain age? I get that, but just on a human level, it's mesmerising that we're thinking, because you're a woman, we're going to condemn you because of your biology. I hate that.
No one's condemning women. We're just allowing them to be equal. The menopause can go on for years. You can have a 2-year lead up to it, and then it can go on for 2 or 3 years after that. So that means your employer is going to have to be making allowances for you for 7 years. I'm not saying don't make life a bit easier. Make put the temperature down, make it lower in some offices. Give a woman a quiet space where she can go to for 5 minutes if she just needs to gather herself. All that's fine. But you can't be having them taking time off work and working from home because they're going through the menopause.
This is called the Storm Huntley Show. Where is she? She's on maternity, rightfully so she can enjoy time creating a family.
Do you think have I said anything that's against that? What I've talked about is employers.
Why are you strangely taking an opposing position like I'm talking against you? I'm encouraging.
We need to take a break,
that
and we're going to talk about this after the break. Don't worry, you've heard what the panel thinks. Don't go anywhere, we're taking your calls on it. Sharon, do you think it makes sense to give women going through the menopause time off work to try and deal with it? Because we can be looking at 7, 10 years even.
Well, as I suffered from the age of 38 with a premenopausal, and I found it very, very difficult. You're not disabled, but I do think with the legislation, with letting people work from home, why should women have to leave work because they can't cope in the office? Why not let them, stay at home and work.
Okay.
We're not disabled. You know, we can have treatments and things like that. But I do find it very hard sometimes to listen to people. We all suffer differently.
Yeah. Carole was
I'm
talking about
56 now.
Carole was talking about brain fog and about flushes as well. Is it that simple? Is it those symptoms, or is there more going on, Sharon?
There's more going on. There's more going on. It's not just, like I said, Carole might have been very fortunate. And just
I wasn't fortunate, Sharon. My menopause was quite hard, but hard in the sense that, you know, I didn't sleep at night very well because you were always hot. I mean, what kind of symptoms are you talking about, apart from the not sleeping, the flushes, the tiredness? What apart from that?
Well, there's lots of different conditions that can crop up while having menopause.
Is that to do?
Let's just hear from Sharon.
But hang on a moment, is that you can't say one shoe or, you know, fits all. We all suffer differently. Like I said, you might have had it a little bit worse than the person next to you, or somebody could have been 3 doors down, might have had it horrifically. We can't say.
Sharon, how much open discussion was there in your workplace about menopause? Was it even a word that was used and acknowledged?
I must say, I've always been, when I started having my premenopausal, it was something that I always talked about to my friends, and I made them realise that it's not something shameful that we should be embarrassed about. You know, if you've got a condition, why should you say, oh no, I'm not going to talk like this because it's a bit embarrassing? We've got to educate everybody who are around us. But I do think that allowing women to have time off work is not the right way to go about it. I think they should be giving alternatives. If that person feels that they can't complete their job, then obviously, you know, that is down to that individual. Yeah. But we're not sick. Okay. But we can handle things differently than what we've been told we've got to do. If we've got this, then we must leave because we're uncomfortable in the office.
Listen, thank you for your call, Sharon. Thanks for expressing it so well. Michelle's in Glasgow. Does time off work for menopause make sense to you, Michelle?
Hi there. Yes, it does. I understand what the last caller was saying about there's other recommendations you can do, and I've heard what Carole has said. Normally I agree with a lot of things Carole says, but I'm actually a wee bit taken aback with this opinion. And women should defend other women because it's hard enough for us. But
Michelle, it happens to every woman. It happens to every single woman.
Absolutely. Same with women that are pregnant. Men can't be pregnant, women are pregnant. So we give certain maternity leave and we understand where they need to go to appointments. This isn't different. So can I just finish this point before you jump in, Carole? The last caller was saying about brain fog and sleep. I work in the NHS, and some of my colleagues who are going through it just now, we do a very, very physical job where we're always lifting patients and lifting and handling, and we're on our feet for about 12 and a half hours a day. Now, our knees, our hips, our hands, it's a lot more than what a lot of people think. All of a sudden, you've got fit people in my work, that all of a sudden when they're bending, their knees are sore, everything's painful, then all of a sudden you're starting new medications, new vitamins. And I think there needs to be a better understanding. Carole was saying about we need to be careful because we don't want to be seen as disabled in the workplace. We did fight for our human rights. We fought for equal pay and to be the same. But the fact is our biologies are not the same. Men and women are different. Women get time off to have a baby. It's the same cycle. So why are we not respected for our own biology? We don't need to fight men and have to go to work when we have these serious ailments.
But Michelle, do you see why some employers might be reluctant to take on older women?
I totally understand where you're coming from. That's where society and the political sphere comes into it, because it's not fair that we have to go to work in pain sometimes because we want to be seen as being able to do our job, where some men don't have these problems at all.
Okay, Michelle,
so
we have to leave it there. It's clear from what you're saying that the priority for you is being able to do your job as well as you can and care for your patients. Thank you for your call. Thanks for all the calls.